Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. So some time back somebody had asked me for a video on how to differentiate between the Graptopetalum Superbum and Graptopetalum Purple Delight. Now the most important thing, our Graptopetalum Superbum is a natural variety of Graptopetalum, whereas Graptopetalum Purple Delight is a hybrid. It's a hybrid between Lavender Pebbles and Paraguins. So it is a hybrid of Graptopetalum. Both the parents are Graptopetalum, whereas this one is the natural species of our Graptopetalum Superbum. Now, if you're going to take a closer look, I'll try to compare it between the one at the back because it's more stressed. You can see the shape of the leaves look a little bit similar, but our Superbum is going to have quite flat leaves as compared to our Purple Delight. Purple Delight have a little bit more thick leaves. The reason is because one of the parent is Lavender Pebbles. Lavender Pebbles are the ones that have really chubby leaves, just like how the moonstones, and usually they are referred to as pink moonstones. So these are so it gets a little bit of that chubbiness from its one parent, which is Lavender Pebbles, and the second parent is Paraguins, so which has very arrow shaped leaves, which is also commonly called as the ghost plant. So it gets those arrow shapes because of that second parent. So the major difference is the leaves, and a Superbum on the other hand will have its leaves. This is a perfect example. You can see the leaf will kind of bend downwards. It's not because of the light, that's how this particular plant has its structure. It tends to have the leaves that will kind of bend the back, but that's not the case with our Purple Delight. They will have more of those upright arrow type of leaves. So that is one of the major difference. But if you are going to compare them next to each other, you will definitely find a lot of difference. Also, I have noticed that they also have a very faint line on the leaf, on each of the leaf. I wouldn't say it's exactly in the middle, but they have this line, a kind of a dent on each of the leaf, which is not present on our Purple Delight. So that is again another way to distinguish. But of course, if you're going to see it in pictures, it's going to be very difficult because a lot of times these are mislabeled. Either the Superbum is labeled as Purple Delight or vice versa. So unless and until it is right in front of you, or if you're going to the nursery, I think it is going to be much easy for you to differentiate it in person rather than checking it online. So that is the major difference. The leaf structure, the way it grows, the leaves tend to bend backwards in our Superbum, whereas our Purple Delight, they have more thick leaves and they are more arrow shaped, and they are more upright. But the common thing between both is the color. They both have very similar color. You can see that little bit of purple tone, which is very common among Graptopetalums or Graptovarias. A lot of these Graptos do have this purple tinge to them, but these are more prominent on these two succulents. Now the care tips remains the same despite the structure of the succulent, but the care tips remains the same. They prefer a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Both of them are winter growing succulents and will go dormant during the summers. Even though our Purple Delight is a hybrid, but it is extremely easy to take care, very hardy. I always recommend this succulent to a lot of beginners. Very easy to propagate via leaves, stem cutting, beheading. You can do it now during the winters. I am not very sure about the Superbum. Of course, it will get propagated via leaves, but if anyone has propagated Superbum, please do let me know in the comments. I have never propagated a Superbum, but I have definitely propagated a lot of my Purple Delights. They tend to work out really well. Talking about watering, whenever the soil is completely bone dry, wait for a couple of days and then go ahead and do a complete watering. The soil has to be completely bone dry before you go ahead and water. Talking about pest issues, I haven't seen much of pest issues on this plant, whether it's Superbum or whether it's Purple Delight. They are quite easy to take care. Pest issues are the last thing that you'll find on this succulent, unless you are getting it from somewhere and they are already infested, Always check for the stem area, always check for the crown area. Under the leaves, between the leaves, the mealybugs tend to hide over there. Stem, because that's where a lot of these scale insects tend to attack. So do a proper visual check and always isolate, quarantine your new plants that come into your house. Fertilizers are not very important, but if you're a person who tends to use fertilizers, you can do it now during the winter season. Please do not add any fertilizers during the summers, because that's when the plant tends to go dormant. Propagation, as I said, leaf propagation, stem cutting, beheading, separating of the offsets, all of these methods tend to work out really well. With Purple Delight, I'm not very sure with Superbum about leaf propagation, but of course if you have offsets coming up, you can separate them once they reach a decent size. So overall, both of the succulents are quite easy. If you are a beginner, you can definitely add this in your collection. They will give you this very pink purple kind of tone in your garden. If you have more of a lot of greens in your garden, then of course these are going to lighten up your garden a little bit, so you can definitely add them in your collection. Even if you are a beginner, you can definitely add them in the collection. I have seen most of the time Superbum is the one that does get a little bit damaged in the transit box, so ensure that you are buying it from a very genuine and reputed seller who knows very well how to pack the succulents, because they can easily get damaged in the transit box. The same thing goes with Purple Delight as well. Purple Delight have very stiff, very thick, very delicate leaves. They can also easily break if they have not been packed properly. So guys, that's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe and keep propagating.